Hi, you're very welcome. This is Catherine from Geraldstown House, and I decided to do a little bit of cook it at home for everybody stuck at home during the coronavirus. So some people will know me and some not. And what I'm going to do today is make a really simple brown bread. And the reason I'm making this is because I don't know about you, but I have had lots of I buy things and then they might go off. And today I have some sour milk, and just being fanatical about not wasting food, I decided to make brown bread, so I thought I'd make it with you. So this is really simple. The first thing you do is you preheat your oven. So my oven is on, and I have a Celsius, so it is 180 Celsius, or if you've gas, it's gas mark 5, or Fahrenheit is 356 Fahrenheit, but most of us probably have Celsius or gas. And literally with this recipe you put dry ingredients in and then wet ingredients. So it's so simple and pretty fail safe. The first thing, after you set your oven on, you grease a pan. I've half done this one, so you just very quickly grease the pan. You don't have to line a tin or anything like this. This is a 10-ounce loaf tin, and you can make it in anything that you have once it's big enough. About 10 ounces is perfect. Make sure that you've washed your hands, and during COVID particularly be aware of having your surfaces nice and clean, and you know, if you sneeze or cough, into your elbow, and wash your hands afterwards. So we've greased our pan and I'm going to set that aside. What we need is brown flour, any kind of wholemeal or brown flour, and that is 230 grams or 8 ounces of brown flour, and we pop that in to our bowl. Then we get self-raising flour, and that's about 170 grams or 6 ounces of self-raising flour. Then we add some bran. Makes the bread lovely, full of fibre. So 1 ounce of bran, stick that in, and 1 ounce of wheat germ. Now if you wanted to make 2, you just double up the recipe. Then you add 1 teaspoon of bread soda, or bicarbonate of soda, it's called different things, go in there, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so that's all my dry ingredients. So simple. So I'm going to mix all of those up. There's no salt in this recipe, and it's good and healthy. So that's all my dry ingredients just mixed up in the bowl here. And then I add my wet ingredients. So my wet ingredients is my sour milk. Okay. And then I beat 1 egg, and pour that in on top of the milk, and then it's just one mug of sour milk, or milk, whatever milk you can use, low fat or full fat, whatever you have in the house, 1 egg, and then a tub of yogurt, 125 gram tub of yogurt. Some people, you could use a natural yogurt, which I'm going to use here, and or a hazelnut yogurt. If there's anybody with food allergies, or if when the kids are off school and you send them back to school, it might be better not to use the nutty one. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of honey to my yogurt and mix it in. And this honey, sometimes you get your honey and it's all hard and solid at the bottom, so you can put that into a mug of boiling water, and it's perfect. That one was very solid, but now it's fine. So a teaspoon of honey into your yogurt, mix that up a little bit, and then add the yogurt into your wet mixture. So you have a bowl for dry and a bowl for wet. and you mix that up. Use this one, it's better. So you mix that up. Now, the next piece is that you literally add your yogurt, your milk, and your egg, and your teaspoon of honey or whatever you're using into the dry flour and wheat germ and bran, and you simply mix that. I always use a spatula because it really gets everything in the bowl off the sides. So you can use a wooden spoon or whatever you use. This mixture seems a little bit dry, so I'm going to add another little bit of milk possibly to it. So it can be quite a wet. It can be quite a wet little recipe, and I wouldn't worry too much about that, but make sure that you don't have it too wet. So just a tiny bit more milk, because this is just for some reason a bit dry. Yeah, that's perfect. So when you have the mixture mixed together, it can be quite a sloppy recipe. This is a great recipe to do with kids because you don't need necessarily to be exact with your measurements, and it's a very simple and easy one for them to start with it to cook together or bake together. When you have your ingredients mixed up, you get your prepared tin and pop it in. And when it's in the tin, just smooth it down. And that is ready to pop in the oven. You put it into the oven for 1 hour. And when we have it cooked, I'll have a little look, we can have a look at. You check that it's done by putting a skewer or a knife or something right into the middle of it, pulling out, and when it is done, there won't be, like if it's not done, you'll have like a doughy consistency on the skewer. So that's ready to go in the oven, and we'll come back later and see how it goes. So that's 1 hour in the oven exactly. In somebody's oven, it might be 50 minutes to 1 hour, or maybe even a little bit over. And how you test that it's done is you get a skewer or a knife or something and stick it right in the big part of the bread. And when it comes out and there's no dough on it, that's perfectly done. Okay, so you turn it out onto a wire rack. And then cover it with a tea towel. We'll give you a look at that. So that's our bread done, it's very hot. So you cover it with a tea towel, clean tea towel. Remembering that when you do take your bread out of the oven, remember to wash your hands and clean the surfaces underneath where you're going to keep the bread. And that's it. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye. All take care and be safe and well.